Hi, how's it going? Luciano Ruas is speaking. I'm a Brazilian pianist, and in this live I'm gonna talk a little bit about improvisation in samba. I realized that many foreigner people don't know really how to improvise in samba piano. It's a little bit complex, and it's not just like playing jazz over a samba song. It's much more than that. There are a lot of important details that can change, can give you a more Brazilian sound. So I'm gonna show you some resources I think when I'm playing, and I hope this help you. So let me show you the keyboard, and let me test here. All right, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna improvise over a sequence of some chords of the song O Que É by the composer Cesar Camargo Mariano. You can hear the song at the album Duo by Cesar Camargo Mariano and Romero Lubambo. All right, I'm gonna write on the comments if you have doubts in how to search for each. All right, so I'm gonna use a sequence of chords it's written here. Let me show you first. C major 7, E flat diminished, D minor 7, G7. One more time. C major 7, A flat diminished, D minor 7, and G7. Note that I put some repetition bar here, so you play twice this sequence. After that we have a B section. G minor 7, C7, G minor 7 again, C7, G minor 7 again, C7, F sharp half diminished or F sharp minor 7 flat fifth. After that F minor 6, E minor 7, E diminished, D7, and G7. So this is the sequence of chords that I'm gonna improvise over it. And before I'm gonna do just comping over these chords. Diminished, G7, repeating, D minor, G7. B section, G minor, F half diminished, so this is the sequence I'm gonna use to improvise, and I'm gonna explore some textures, some possibilities. And it's common when we are improvising and in Brazilian songs, like in jazz, sometimes we change some details of the chord. Note, for example, that when I played F minor 7, I played F minor 6, I played F minor 7 because I know the sound, it's very similar, and I have another musical effect when I change these scales. So sometimes you're gonna hear something a little bit different, and if you have some doubts, it's just leave your comment here. All right, so I'm gonna close my microphone and I'm gonna improvise over this section. I'm gonna do some chorus. All right, so let's start. Alright, so this was an example of samba improvisation that you can hear a lot of details that makes it sounds a little bit more Brazilian. And let me comment some of that. First of that, that is a very important characteristic in samba. That is the low drum in the second beat. So samba is written in 2/4 bar, and we have some accent, some strong song, low strong song on the second beat. So let me show you. I'm using a pedal point of C. Very important characteristic when we play samba, it's to feel this second beat, especially when we are playing some low comping. The bass players often use these lines that reinforce the second beat. For example, I'm using ghost note, but 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Another important characteristic about the samba, it's the use of the in the higher part, the harmonic part, we often imitate the tambourine. The tambourine, it's a kind of, it's not the Brazilian tambourine that we call pandeiro. Tambourine, it's a drum that sounds very high, and we use a stick, tack, 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 tack. We have this effect. This percussion of the tambourine sounds, it's like a solo. It's like a solo, has a percussive solo sound. Note that I played in my right hand this tambourine, in the left hand I was making the accent on the second beat. All right, let me show you my hands here of the at the keyboard. It's better than here. So I'm sorry that the image still gets, it's not, has a little of bugs. I'm trying to work on that. What else can we talk about more? The samba. There was a moment of my solo that I played the cuica. That it's an instrument, it's a kind of drum, but it's a different kind of sound it has, that we take the sound by contact. It has a little stick inside the drum, and we make a sound with the contact of, we get a wet I forgot, but I forgot the word, I'm sorry. When the same things of the clothes, for example, you take a piece of this and make the contact between this stick, and that makes this sound. It's interesting to hear the cuica players to get the sounds, this rhythm. It's very interesting, it's very rich, the variations. So this was the basis of sounds that I often think when I'm playing samba. Let me talk to you a little bit about texture. For example, when I'm playing lower in this part, I use a melody in this pinky finger. It's this last fingers to do melody, simple melodies. Right, you've heard a melody and a rhythm and harmony in this first fingers of the hand. All right, so this is a very interesting resource. Another one I like to use that gives more freedom to my right hand, it's the double function left hand. I'm playing my left hand is divided in two parts. One for doing the third and the seventh or the sixth of the chord, and another part to do the bass, where I play the root of the chord and the fifth. All right, so I can give this effect. And now I'm using a syncopated rhythm. Tumbat cat tumbat cat tumbat. If you want to know more about syncopation, I'm gonna do some video about that, or you can find in my old videos also. All right, but it's this rhythm. Tumbat cat 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 tumbat. All right, so we can improvise more free. When I get more, it's lower, I just use sometimes two notes to maintain my sound clear, all right? So this is a kind of texture that I often use to improvise samba. When I get higher, in the higher parts, I use the rootless voicings on the left hand in this extension of the piano, all right, and I give bass notes. I jump to do the bass notes. So and you don't need to play all the bass notes. You can sometimes play this bass on the second beat that sounds more inside the Brazilian language. So sometimes I put on the first beat also, but it's interesting to emphasize the second beat. So for example, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. And you cannot you can do in a way that it don't need to be predictable. If you don't play in a predictable way, like a pattern, it's gonna sound in a way that you're gonna sound more free. I would say it sounds more free. All right. So for improvise in higher register, so. Now it's more predictable to show you, but this is one of the resources I use to improvise samba. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the melody. The melody, it's important because a lot of musicians, often when playing samba, plays the bebop language. The bebop language, it's made by a lot of chromatism, and samba has a little bit of chromatism. It's not characteristic in the melodic language of the samba to play this kind of it's for example bebop scales. We play in a way that it sounds more diatonic. Another important thing about samba is the rhythm of the melody. The melody, it's played using the syncopations, and I'm gonna do a video about syncopations that will be important for who doesn't read music often in 2/4. But the notes of the syncopation, they are out of the beat. It's always floating over the beat. For example, if somebody doesn't know the samba would do this. And in samba we play over, we float over the beat. Note that in my bass is playing the beat, but so we sound like that. I'm gonna try to sound like some people that doesn't know Brazilian music. And Brazilian people, we're gonna sound like this. floating over the beat, all right? So this is the syncopated sound. If you join syncopation, if you join this more diatonic melodies with this rhythm, you're gonna sound more Brazilian. Note that I have another beat here that I'm playing syncopations, and I give a little bit of accent on second beat. Note I don't play strongly the second beat, but I play more the notes longer. All right, so I remind another texture that it's very interesting when you want to make some voicing, large voicings when play samba that create a more percussive effect. That it's, for example, I'm gonna play this voicing, for example, in G minor. So I create some interaction between the hands. And this interaction between hands show us all the 16th notes over a bar. You're gonna hear the over. It sounds like a pandeiro. It's the Brazilian tambourine. One more resource I've used that I remind now also at this live. This live is all spontaneous. I'm doing it now. It's the partido alto sound. Partido alto, it's another style of samba. It's more percussive, and we have some pattern. So this pattern we can use to create a variation, rhythmic variation. So this creates more interest in when you pick another kinds of samba and play and mixture, all right? So all of these resources can make your sound more Brazilian, sound more authentic. And if you want to know more about samba and bossa nova and how to make they sound authentically Brazilian, I invite you to watch my channel and subscribe yourself and leave your comments. Brazilian language is very complex, and I'm here to answer your questions, and it will be a pleasure to talk with you about Brazilian music, all right? So thanks for watching, and see you much more here to make more lives about Brazilian music. Thank you and bye-bye. Ciao.